peace and development, Nigeria must have a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. Our correspondent Mukhtar Kasim tells us more.
Speaking at the general debate of the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, Vice President Shettima stated that there is need for urgent action to promote sovereign debt relief and access to trade and financing. He added that countries that host minerals must benefit from those minerals.
Nigeria must have a permanent seat at the UN Security Council. This should take place. This should take place as part of a wider process of institutional reform. 2, we need urgent action to promote sovereign debt relief and access to trade and financing. 3, countries that host minerals must benefit from those minerals. And 4th, the digital divide must close.
The Vice President also linked the call for the reforms to broader economic and social concerns, urging urgent action on sovereign debt relief, fair access to trade and finance, and leveraging Africa's strategic resources to drive sustainable development.
A bold step to reform the wider United Nations system for greater relevance, efficiency, and effectiveness in the face of unprecedented financial strain. We support the drive to rationalize structures and end the duplication of responsibilities and programs so that this institution may speak with one voice and act with greater coherence.
With Nigeria's renewed push for a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council, Vice President Shettima says the time has come for Africa's voice to be fully heard in shaping global peace, security, and development. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News.
The federal government has announced Nigeria at 65, all hands on deck for a greater nation as the theme for the 2025 Independence Day celebrations. Officials say the theme reflects Nigerians' resilience since 1960 while urging unity, patriotism, and collaboration among citizens, institutions, and stakeholders to build peace and prosperity under the renewed hope agenda. Events marking the celebration include a Jumat prayer on September 26, a church service on September 28, and a World Press Conference on September 29 in Abuja. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has flagged off the airlifting of Christian pilgrims to Israel and Jordan from the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport in Owerri. Represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, the President praised Governor Hope Uzodima's infrastructural strides and urged pilgrims to be patriotic on their spiritual journey. Global TV's news correspondent Amarachi Ibe tells us more.
Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport again played host to international flights as Christian pilgrims boarded for Israel and Jordan. Earlier this year, Muslim pilgrims has also been airlifted from the same airport, a development officials says underscores Imo's rising role in aviation. Speaking on behalf of President Tinubu, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, commended Imo's transformation and reminded the pilgrims of their duty to the country.
Aside from the spiritual well-being of the people, the governor has also embarked on infrastructural development across all senatorial zones, which is the first of its kind in the history of the state. It is important at this point to admonish the intending Christian pilgrims to show patriotism as they embark on this spiritual journey.
Governor Hope Uzodinma described the exercise as a reflection of Nigeria's steady progress under the current administration. He noted that with the bold reforms of Tinubu's administration, Nigeria is moving in the right direction and urged pilgrims to pray for peace.
With the bold reforms of the president, we are moving in the right direction. Our revenue is growing every day. So as you journey to the Holy Land, carry Nigeria in your heart. Pray for peace. Pray for prosperity. Pray for unity.
Representing the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti, Chief of Staff to the state government, Caleb Ajebu, congratulated the pilgrims and encouraged them to make Nigeria proud.
Go out there and make Nigeria proud. Go out there and let them know that you are there to add value to your spiritual life so that upon your return, people will be able to take note of the fact that glorious things are being spoken concerning you.
Supervising the airlift, the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission expressed appreciation to the governor for his support and reminded pilgrims that their journey is primarily spiritual.
I want to thank most profusely the Executive Governor of Imo State, His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, for his visionary leadership in Imo State. Our intending pilgrims should note that pilgrimage is not tourism. It is not a jamboree. Rather, it is a spiritual journey of faith, which is aimed at having an encounter with God.
With the symbolic flag off now complete, officials says the journey is not just about faith, but also about patriotism, unity, and continuous renewal of Nigeria's image abroad. From Sam Mbakwe International Airport, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
In the continuous implementation and assurance of city and satellite towns preparation for the infrastructural build-up for FCTA, we have stories making around. The Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has flagged off the construction of the aerial road N20 linking road N5 or Bafemi Awolowo Way to the airport's expressway to boost infrastructural development within the nation's capital. Kabiru will bring us that story in subsequent bulletin. The federal government has directed that all academic credentials in Nigeria must now be verified under a new national database beginning October 6, 2025. A circular by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, said the reform handled through the National Credential Verification Service under the NET program will assign each verified qualification a unique credential number and security code. He explained that no appointments will be confirmed without clearance, stressing that the measure ensures all certificates are traceable, authentic, and earned from accredited institutions. Nigeria has congratulated the Republic of Guinea-Bissau on its independence anniversary, with Foreign Affairs Minister Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga extending warm wishes to his counterpart Carlos Pinto Pereira. The ministry, in a statement signed by its spokesperson Kimbembe Ebifa, said the anniversary reflects the resilience of the Guinea-Bissau people and reaffirmed Nigerians' commitment to stronger ties in peace, governance, trade, security, and cultural cooperation, including through ECOWAS, AU, and the UN. It further noted that Nigeria remains ready to deepen relations, explore new areas of mutual benefit, and continue collaboration with Guinea-Bissau in pursuit of regional stability, economic growth, and shared prosperity. And to some electoral matters, the Independent National Electoral Commission has approved the commencement of the campaigns ahead of the 2026 Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections. In a statement, National Commissioner Sam Olumeko said campaigns will run from September 24th, 2025 until February 19, 2026, in line with the Electoral Acts and INEC's election timetable. The Commission warned that all political parties and candidates must comply strictly with regulations and the Electoral Code of Conduct. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has described the late Solomon Arase as the architect of modern policing in Nigeria, and his reforms remain the foundation of today's police operations. Speaking at the night of tributes in Abuja, Egbetokun said Arase was more than just a police officer. He was an institution in himself, defined by intellect, discipline, and humanity. As security correspondent, Kikelomo Okere has the details.
Tribute poured in for former Inspector General of Police, late Solomon Arase, as the Nigerian Police Force and past police chiefs gathered in Abuja to honor his legacy and service to the nation. At a solemn day of tribute, the current Inspector General of Police, Olukayode Egbetokun, described the late Arase as a rare blend of intellect, discipline, and humanism. He says Arase's death is not only a personal loss to his family, but also to the police institution and the nation at large.
As Cadet Assistant Inspector General of Police, his career became a lesson in resilience, in excellence, and in the dignity of duty.
Former IGPs describe Arase as loyal, committed, and the only officers in police history to have served as principal staff officer to 3 successive Inspector General of Police. He was remembered as a trustworthy colleague and friend, saying Arase's life of service to the nation remains unmatched.
We can say now of Solomon was a kind, was a generous, he was a compassionate officer.
Arase lived a good life. He started this country its best.
The politics of a police officer, all packaged in one person, Solomon Arase.
In the Nigerian police intelligence today would be grateful to Solomon Arase.
Solomon Arase was a man born with tools of leadership, chemistry of humility, and gift of deep knowledge.
Senator representing Edo Central Adams Oshomole described him as a patriotic reformer and scholar whose courage and intellect earned him national and international respect.
Yes, when it matters, Arase will listen, and he did listen. Even when I was in a very difficult political environment, Arase was there as a true, impartial police officer.
The late former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, will be remembered as a shining light in the history of policing in Nigeria and a patriot who lived for justice, fairness, and peace. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. When News Cycle returns, golf tournament set to honor Army officers. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. It's good to have you back on the bulletin. In business, President Bola Tinubu has moved to restart oil production in Ogoni land in Rivers State. The president disclosed this when he conferred posthumous national honors on Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, on the late Ogoni 4, Albert Bade, Edward Koboni, Theophilus Oragi, and Samuel Oragi. Ramsey Enoch Agbo has the details for Global TV.
Conferring the honor at the presidential villa in Abuja, President Tinubu urged the Ogoni people to embrace reconciliation and unity after decades of division. He assured stakeholders that his administration would support Ogoniland's journey towards peace, environmental remediation, and economic revival, while also facilitating the return of oil exploration to the area. The president therefore directed the National Security Advisor, NSA Nuhu Ribadu, to begin engagements between Ogoni communities, NNPCL, and other stakeholders to finalize modalities for restarting operations.
I'm encouraged by the overwhelming consensus of the Ogoni communities to welcome the resumption of oil production under new equitable terms, resourceful commitment. Government will deploy every resource to support the Ogoni people in this march towards shared prosperity.
Chairman of the Dialogue Committee, Don Baridan, and the Rivers State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, said the committee ensures that all stakeholders were carried along in the process, noting that the report reflects the collective will of the Ogoni people. He noted that the report captured the people's demands for structured participation in oil production, renewed environmental cleanup, and a framework for sustainable development.
They view renewed activity not as a return to the injustice of the past, but as an opportunity to reset relationships, accelerate remediations, and unlock economic inclusions. This consensus, Mr. President, is neither coerced nor conditional on empty promises.
Myself, standing as a governor, we will work together to make sure that this impulse that have existed for many years will be resolved finally. There is every sign that this government is serious about resolving these issues, and I think we need to give them all the necessary opportunity.
Earlier, the NSA, who presented the committee's report, said the consultation exercise engaged all 4 Ogoni zones with input from local communities, traditional leaders, and the diaspora.
The Ogoni people are not merely asking for tokenism, but for structured participation through equity, development, funds, employment, and institutional safeguards.
Oil exploration in Ogoniland has been suspended since 1993 following protests against environmental degradation, culminating in the execution of Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 other activists in 1995. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
Away from that, the House of Representatives says it will ensure transparency and accountability in the federal government's Naira for crude oil policy. Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, made the pledge at the inauguration of an ad hoc committee to oversee the policy's implementation. National Assembly correspondent reports. The Speaker, who was represented by the Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, explained that the initiative has far-reaching implications for foreign exchange stability, revenue generation, and long-term energy security.
The Naira for crude oil policy carries significant implications for Nigerians' foreign exchange stability, revenue generation, and long-term energy security. A thorough examination of its framework will enable the committee to determine whether the policy is achieving its intended objectives, identify any gaps in its implementation, and highlight areas where adjustments may be required.
Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Boniface Emaregwa, says the policy seeks to create a framework where crude oil transactions are increasingly denominated in Naira. If well structured, it will boost confidence in Nigeria's currency and stimulate domestic growth.
Nigeria is blessed with abundant crude oil reserves, yet the benefits of this God-given resource have not always translated into maximum value for our people. the volatility of the foreign exchange markets, over-dependence on the dollar.
The committee has been tasked to review the policies framework, engage stakeholders, and make evidence-based recommendations to guide the House.
A key area of interest to DAPMAN while you're doing your work is the cost build-up, the actual costs at which refineries receive the crude oil that is being sold in the country, because this is a key factor in what the man at the pump gets the price of the fuel that he's buying.
The House says the move aligns with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and reflects its commitment to transparency, economic stability, and national development. Aniti Patrick, reporting for Global TV. And on the foreign scene, the Democratic Republic of Congo is grappling with a new outbreak of Ebola, as health officials have confirmed 11 additional cases in the Bulape health zone of Kassi province. The outbreak remains concentrated in 6 health areas: Bambale, Bulape, Bulape Commentary, Dikolo, Ingolo, and Mbiaga. The outbreak has claimed 35 lives, including 25 confirmed and 10 probable cases, resulting in an overall case fatality ratio of 61.4%. Notably, 5 health workers are among the confirmed cases. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has arrived Washington, where he will be hosted by President Donald Trump at the White House. From defense to energy deals, Erdogan will be seeking to ink agreements with Trump worth tens of billions of United States dollars. The two leaders are also expected to discuss the situation in the Middle East, including the war in Gaza. In Gaza today, at least 43 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli military strikes on central and southern Gaza, including children among 11 dead in Al-Zalah after their family home was destroyed. Spain and Italy are deploying Navy vessels after activists in a flotilla are seeking to break Israeli sea blockade of Gaza said some boats were attacked by drones south of Greece. A drone launched by Yemen's Houthi rebel wounded 22 people in the southern Israeli city of Eilat, in a rare breach of Israel's sophisticated missile defense system. And in sports, President Bola Tinubu has renewed Nigeria's bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games, describing the country as the gateway to Africa and stressing its readiness to make history as the first African host. The Games, marking the event's centenary since 1930, will see Nigeria compete with India, which has also submitted a bid with Ahmedabad as its host city. Tinubu urged the Commonwealth to recognize Africa's central place in the future of global sports, with Abuja proposed as Nigeria's host city. And moving to golf, Nigeria's 65th Independence celebration is taking a different swing this year, with a golf tournament dedicated to honoring retired and serving officers of the Nigerian Army. This was made known by the chairman local organizing committee, Dr. James Agbohense, to the media at a press conference ahead of the special Independence golf tournament in Abuja. Our sports correspondent tells us more. The lush greens of the Tukur Yusuf Buratai International Golf Resort and Country Club in Abuja are the stage for this year's Independence Golf Tournament. With more than 400 golfers, including professionals and diplomats, are set to compete not just for trophies, but to celebrate the spirit of service and sacrifice. Chairman of the local organizing committee, Dr. James Agbohense, said this tournament is about unity, camaraderie, and above all, honoring the officers who have served the nation.
This event is more than just a sporting competition. It is an opportunity to reflect on the values upon which our dear nation was founded. That is unity, perseverance, discipline, and excellence. Beyond golf, this event also represents the growth and development of our club community.
Captain of the TYB Golf Club, Major General Samson Jia, represented by the Vice Chairman of the TYB Golf Club, Dr. Ali Peters, says the week-long event will also witness the commissioning of new projects at the club, from a golf practice range to a kart bay and other facilities that promise to boost the golfing experience.
This event is important and unique is because this is the first time we're having an independence tournament in TYB IGRCC. For the first time, we're celebrating the military, retired and serving military officers who have sacrificed so much for this country.
And so far, we are looking at entertaining over 400 golfers. And then these golfers will include professionals. We'll also have our caddies and the staff that help this golf course running to play.
A member of the local organizing committee, Jumai Adamu, said over 100 women, including 3 pros, are expected to take part in the week-long independence tournament.
And we have over 100 women, amateurs, both veterans and super veterans participating, and we are looking forward to swinging it out on Tuesday, the 30th of September 2025.
With the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General O.O. Oloyede, as Grand Patron, the tournament reflects not only celebration of independence, but also recognition of the military's enduring role in safeguarding it. From tee-off to the final put, this year's Independence Golf Tournament is more than a game. It is a tribute to service, sacrifice, and Nigeria's unity at 65. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. And that's it on Global News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen. I am Aniete Patrick. Thank you for being a part of the bulletin.